How's it going, guys? It's Paper, cut to you with PlanetDestiny, and today I'm going to be breaking down the Omnigul strike. So go ahead and pop your ether seeds, pop your black wax, and pop a heavy. It's going to make getting through this room a lot faster, as well as chaining supers, because it's something that's really easy to do in this level, especially when these thralls come out. So now that you're making a little bit of glimmer, you're making some orbs, and get your whole fire team in on it, even the warlocks. Use your heavy ammo, it's going to make this section very fast, and you definitely want to take out your heavy for when you get that audio notification that you've cleared the room. From there, you want to move up to the stairwell and take out the rest of the enemies before they get out and scatter. It just adds time to this part of the strike. And for this next part, once we move up, it's a lot of the same. We use our specials, we try to not get killed by these shanks that spawn behind you. You always want to watch out for those. Other than that, you just move up with your team and watch out for the sniper on top of the doorway that you come out of right there. And this is something that's optional. If you want to save a few minutes, you can just get on your sparrows. You can even run across. Hunter can use his special and use his invisibility. There's a lot of ways to get across without actually fighting these guys. But if you're going to do it on your sparrows, try to stay somewhat close to the leader because he starts to draw fire and there is a boomer that will snipe you off your sparrow if you fall behind. So try not to die in that area because it actually takes way longer to clear it from this way because the extra ads are going to start once Omnigul gets into the room. It makes it pretty hard to go pick somebody up, so be careful going through there if this is the strategy you're going to be going through. We actually ended up having somebody fall behind and he ended up dying, but we ended up doing the two-man strategy, and this is the room in the back where you just continuously revive with a little bit of tweaks to it. There are some timings that make it go by even faster, and these usually revolve around the time that she starts bringing out her ads. And there's a few ways to know this. If it's by health, then you're looking at a quarter, half, 3/4, and then just when she has a sliver of health, she brings out a couple more ads. The other things are that once you get her shields down, she'll typically just fly around, so you can just start shooting her from there. And the setup is a triangle with 3 guys, and we're just continuously going to revive each other. And the reason this makes it go by a little bit faster is so you don't have to take cover in the little corner to the left. You can just continuously fire upon her. So if you walk up right to the edge here, you're going to be able to help your team out in a couple of different ways. For one, you're all spread out, and 2, you're going to be able to mitigate some of the splash damage, and you're going to see an example of that in a second. So she just lost a quarter of her health and she called in an ad. It got killed extremely fast, but every quarter she brings in one of her other wizards, and they're going to have either an arc shield or a flame shield. That's why usually with your weapons, you're going to want to make sure that you have at least one fire one and one arc one in order to take down the wizard's shields. Another good way to do this is also to have the right elemental grenade. Sticky grenades from a blade dancer or sticky grenades from a sunsinger will bring down the shields very fast. If you have any kind of burn, usually using that weapon on its own is going to be enough to kill the ads before they get out of hand. Because what happens is if you don't kill the ads right away, there's going to be a lot more splash damage. They can also get their timings off in the sense that when wizards shoot, there's a cooldown. If they all get out of sync, they're continuously going to be shooting in there, and then it's really hard to get back out here and shoot them. And we're going to show you an example of this when we do the two-man strategy. We ended up missing our timing, so we ended up having to retreat, and then it just adds a lot more time to the strike. You also have to watch out if you go too forwards like I did, you end up falling off the ramp, and that's something you do not want to happen. So my timing was slightly off. I was trying to reload my weapon, and here my job is to get as much damage on these wizards as possible, so again they don't end up adding up or getting out of sync and end up shooting us all the way into the corner. You're expected to die in this strategy, but the person off to the left has the job of if anything goes wrong, as in I was caught reloading, the other guy died behind me, then his job is to jump in the corner and then revive us. So they have a very important role. Everyone else is putting out DPS trying to get rid of the ads. And you see us throwing grenades because usually at the end, if you don't have that arc burn, you aren't going to be able to take them out fast enough unless your team has all their rocket launchers out and shoots her, then you're fine. But if there's just 2 of you, like the strategy that we're going to do here, you usually want to throw grenades at her when she has that last little sliver of health, just to make sure that you kill her and you don't have to deal with all the ads that just spawned. So what I'm going to show you guys is the exact same run, but with just 2 guys. I'm also going to show you some of the mistakes that happen and how you kind of counteract them, because when you miss your timings, you are forced to back up a little bit and you're going to have to abandon your strategy for a little bit. The last run took about a minute and a half, and this ends up taking a little over 3 minutes. So she's just about down at half, so 2 ads are going to spawn once we get her health down. And this is probably the worst time to go down. You can see she's calling them up, so my partner knows that it's not going to be very safe out there. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my DPS thing again. He's going to get out of the way just in case both wizards decide to shoot, and then it makes it for a really quick takedown, so you have to be careful. And once things go wrong like this, it's really hard to recover because the original strategy that we're going for is that we do not have to take cover. If we both put out the right amount of DPS, when the ads come out, it's going to keep us from having to go into the corner and then just wasting time. And we end up missing our next timing as well. She ends up shooting just before she calls her ads, and we both notice that we're not going to be able to DPS them down before taking damage, so we both jump into the corner. From there, you just work your way out slowly, and just like the other strategy, but with 3 people, it's a very consistent strategy to do the Nightfall. With 2 people, when it's just the regular strike, you can easily stay up front and you won't have to resort to going into the corner, and it makes for very quick takedowns if you do remember to hit all your timings. So remember, one guy is on main DPS, the other person goes on the revive, and that is the regular strategy, and it works. It's very consistent. And I'm gonna mess this up again, and that's kind of part of the reason that I wanted to show you guys this video. You want to make sure you call out to your buddy when the cooldown is on her shot so he can pick you back up. But the reason I wanted to show you is because it's consistent even if you mess this up. I'm not going to have heavy ammo. I go for the grenade throw, and usually it's supposed to be both, and then you don't have to deal with the ads at all. But you can see what happens if you kind of miss your timings. It does add time to the strike, but it's still very easy to recover from this position. Up in this corner, even if all 3 wizards are hitting you, they will not be able to do damage. If you're further back, the splash damage can still kill you, so you do have to be careful. So one of you wants to slowly work his way out, and then the other guy's going to go on the revive, and then you can finish the strike. And that's pretty much the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have some strategies to share, leave them in the comment section, because there is a lot of ways to take out Omnigul. You can do it from the bottom, you can do it from this room, you can run around with shotguns, but when it comes to the Nightfall, I find this to be not only one of the safest places, I find it to be one of the most efficient. We also tried doing it a couple of other ways. We tried it with some shotguns. We tried it as well with a Titan bubble shield, as well as a suppressor grenade, because then the wizards can't attack you. But there's a lot of things that can go wrong. One of the thralls ended up having light switch, well, they all have it, and it got inside of the bubble even with the blinding, sliced up our Titan, and then that was the end of that run. So that's probably why I'm going to be sticking to the window at this point. But thanks for watching. I'm Paper, cut to you with Planet Destiny, and I'll see you next time.